Hi everyone, so today I'm back with the Behind the Instagram series. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when I post a picture of my work that I've done at the salon on Instagram, and then I come on YouTube and I basically go through everything that I've done on that client, from color to toner to haircut to any like deep conditioning treatment, anything that I've used, I explain step by step. So obviously a lot of these products will be professional use only. So this is great if you are a hairdresser or if you know a hairdresser and you're willing to try this out on your own. So basically I'm just sharing my formula, but I'm also explaining what technique I used and how I went about everything. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing this picture here. This is one of my favorites because as she came in, you know, she had her hair up in a bun. She had about an inch of really stark dark roots and she wanted extensions, and she didn't want to just touch up that blonde root like she had technically been doing for years. She wanted to change it up. She basically wanted to detox her hair from anything that was bleach and anything that was lifting her hair. So what we ended up doing was matching her natural base color and bringing it down by painting basically a backwards balayage. So instead of like highlighting to get the blonde pieces of the balayage, I was actually darkening to create that same effect. And then for her existing blonde, there was definitely some yellowing there, and I even suggested maybe doing a very light lightener over those areas, and she was like, absolutely not. The whole point of this is that I want to stay away from bleach. So I said, okay, so all we're going to do is tone. I'm gonna go in with different toners for different areas, but basically try and match you so that you are all blended and basically one color and not different levels of blonde. And she also brought in her clip and extensions, which she asked me to apply and trim and basically style them to her hair. So everything I did to her hair had absolutely no damage, no anything. All I did was basically darken her hair on top. So when you are darkening a hair that's already blonde, you have to be extremely careful or you will get greenish or really grayish hair. And obviously that's not what she wanted. She wanted to match her natural base color. So what I used to match her base color and paint in the balayage was a 1/2 ounce of 6N and a 1/2 ounce of 6G. You definitely need the gold in there to counteract the neutral and to make it a very, sounds extremely gold and extremely warm, but that's what we need in order to get that color. And as you can see, the color was actually still pretty ashy, which is what we want. But if you put in a neutral or an ash, you will be absolutely gray or even a little hint of green in there. So I just painted basically from the root a little bit down, and obviously with each section alternating so that you get that very beautiful variant kind of look. So it looks really natural, like the hair's just been, you know, growing out on its own. It just has this really soft kind of sun-kissed look. So I let that process for 25 minutes, rinsed all of that out. Then for the areas where she had a little bit of yellowing, I used a 1/2 ounce of 09T, 1/2 ounce of crystal clear, and 1 ounce processing solution, and that was the toner just for those yellow bits in her blonde hair. So I basically just splash toned, which is really quick. Her hair was really light, so if I left this on for too long, again, she would get an extreme ashy look, which is not at all what we were trying to go for. Then I went in with 1 ounce 09N and 1 ounce processing solution, and this was just to kind of bring down her blonde a little bit. It was really bright in some areas, and that would not have matched with the extensions she brought in, so I knew that I had to just tone it down a bit. So then once that was toned, about 5 minutes later, we rinsed that off. So even though we didn't use any harsh, you know, like chemicals on her hair such as bleach or any kind of lightener or high lift product on her hair, I still wanted to, you know, add a little bit more hydration to her hair. In most cases, anytime I bleach or, you know, high lift the hair, I always use Olaplex just to prevent any breakage, any damage. But since we had done something that was so delicate on the hair, I still wanted to add extra hydration. So I did a shot of Redken Extreme, and that's a back bar product for salons, and it's basically a deep conditioning treatment that heals broken, damaged hair and leaves you with the most incredible shine yet still volume. So then we came back to the chair. I give her a very smooth, sleek blowout. I applied the extensions. Obviously she brought in I think 22 inches, which were, you know, really long. So I taper them so that there's a slight roundedness. That's what gives extensions a little bit more of that worn in look, and it really makes it look like your hair. So I took about 2 to 3 inches off the length and then really added some texture to the end so that she could curl it, she could wear it straight, and it would look beautiful either way. And then I just finished with very light beach waves. Her hair matched so perfectly, both with color and her texture. And we only used like 2 wefts in the back and then smaller wefts on each side of her head. So we used so minimal of the wefts. So I think the key here is really having the correct color, something that matches so seamlessly. I mean, we just blew her out, like I said, really smooth, sleek blowout, and we put in the extensions, they like just completely matched. And if it wasn't for like the extreme length, she thought it was a little bit much. If it wasn't for that, she could have like honestly just blowed her out, put in the extensions, and she was like ready to go. So that was it. Honestly, actually very simple formulation for this one, and as you can see, it's an extreme makeover, I think. Obviously the extensions add to it, but obviously, like I said, the key here is to have color that really blends. That's going to make your extensions look expensive, and most of all, not make them look like extensions. So anyway, just wanted to mention that my client did come from Toronto to see me. I am so honored and blessed when one of you guys, you know, does travel far to see me. It means the absolute world to me. And also, I wanted to share some big, huge news. I have no idea how I've kept this to myself, but I am moving into my very own salon studio space. I will remain in San Francisco. A lot of people ask like, wait, are you in LA? So I don't know where the confusion comes from. I am in San Francisco. I have been in San Francisco. My new location is going to be just a few blocks away, so still downtown. I am just switching from, you know, renting at a salon to getting my own space. I think a lot of that to you guys, and I'm so happy to share my new space with you guys. So if you haven't booked yet and you're gonna be in San Francisco, here is the phone number to book. I do have a booking person that helps me, so bear with her. It can be crazy some days, and there's definitely times of the month that it gets insanely busy. So if you don't get an answer back, do please try back. Just know that we are human and we are trying to, you know, book as many people as we absolutely can. But I would love to see each and every one of you in my chair at one point. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for those of you wondering what I did. So I'm hoping that this at least like broaden your horizons of what you can get. All right, guys, so I thank you so much for watching. Please click subscribe if you haven't yet. You just get notified every time I've uploaded a video. Please give this a like if this type of video is something that you guys do prefer to watch. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.